Madonna, Shelby. Our next video we're going to do is for the pancreas organ spleen meridian. So in the Touch for Health process, that's going to be Latissimus dorsi muscle, which is a big muscle either side of the lower back, and it has a huge amount of support for your body from here to here. So when it's not up and running, we're more likely to end up with lower back pain and all sorts of things like that, and other muscles just jumping in and doing the work where it's not working. Because it relates to the pancreas organ, it's more likely to be weak if we are high carbohydrate, high sugar human beings, and people who have more coffee and those sorts of things. So just sort of keeping that in mind, that it is very much linked in with blood sugar levels, or the pancreas. And then you can also use the pancreas to, like, it's one of the things as a naturopath I tend to use to show people what's good and what's not good for them. So you can ask the body really specific questions about combinations that may or may not work for someone. So can I tell what you have for brekkie? Basically a Nutella sandwich this morning. Was it white bread or wholemeal?
White bread.
White bread, okay, so
and
the fastest.
Coffee a couple hours before that.
And a coffee. So we've had coffee, we've had the Nutella equivalent with white chocolate in it, and white bread. So you can imagine blood sugar a few hours later might be starting to either peak or drop. So the muscle test itself is Latissimus dorsi, and basically to isolate it, we need the hands to be poking out, and we're going to be going out from the body. Okay, so hold in, don't let me pull out. Hold. No. And hold in for me.
You could have seen that coming.
No. Okay, that did not work. So we'll firstly, this little point, so you go to the bottom of the rib cage, just up one rib, that little spot there, it's often a little bit tender. Yours is okay?
It's noticeable.
Yeah.
But it's not.
Okay, so that little spot, it's only on the left side. The neurolymphatic point. And there's also spots either side of the spine next to the Latissimus dorsi. So those little spots add nervous system energy to the organ and the meridian. And the meridian itself runs from the big toe inside of the leg and then runs down, does a little hook up the top. So that's the meridian. Neurovascular points on the head, the side of the head, just nice and gently holding those little guys. And holding into your hip for me, beautiful. Hand facing out, holding in for me, beautiful. So, for example, this is where you can really start showing someone, what is good and what's not so good for them. You're lucky, you're young, you're getting away with it at the moment. But what you can do is ask, so once again, in relation to, I could say in relation to half a cup of Nutella, for example, and hold in nice and strong, yeah. And it unlocks, hold in nice and strong. So basically that shows us that the pancreas energy doesn't like it I'm sure your brain loves it, but the pancreas doesn't like it. It has a hard time keeping up. So once you give it a little bit of a balance, and it's not so much about being able to give people the ability to go and eat half a cup of Nutella, it's more about balancing the body to sugar. But eventually then the body starts to hopefully change and get the idea of, oh, okay, if I have lots of sugar I might feel anxious and stressed, so maybe I'll go choose something else. But depends what we have in our house at the time. And again, hold in for me.
Spreads.
Sorry?
We're low on spreads and I didn't feel like Vegemite.
Yeah, right, hold in. So what you could ask is in relation to eggs on toast. and hold. So it likes that better than Nutella on bread. But then again, there's an amount. What's your normal brekkie? Like, is that fairly normal?
A sandwich in the morning with something on it's fairly normal. Yeah.
Okay. And what are the things you choose? It's usually spreads of some sort? Okay.
Jam or peanut butter.
Okay. And what's your energy like through the day?
I'm pretty almost constantly tired.
Yeah.
Of some degree, it's just the amount of tired that I'm at.
Yeah, right.
This last week I've been pretty good energy-wise.
Yeah, the adrenaline from the anaesthetic. So what you could ask... Okay, so in relation to the tiredness then, I'm just going to ask a general question. Only give me an unlock if the tiredness is due to the type of breakfast you're having. And hold in, nice and strong. Okay. Hold in, nice and strong. Okay. So it might be that your brain is missing out on fats and protein in the morning.
I used to have cereals before I moved in.
Yeah?
Yeah. But after I moved, cereals just became less convenient because I was the only one eating them.
Yeah. So if you're doing spreads, you could do something like, say, an almond spread or a cashew spread or something like that, or even peanut paste. You know, something with some, protein and fats in there to help to balance, or something with cheese or eggs, of course. Because if your body is tired throughout the day and your brain is screaming out for some protein and good fats, because don't forget your brain's 70% fat, so if it's needing that, then, that tiredness isn't. Do you feel energized as soon as you eat? Like, do you get that sugar high?
I've never been affected energy-wise by sugar before,
Okay.
not even when I was a kid.
Cool.
My mum loved that.
So it's more the lack of energy rather than the hyper. Yeah. Okay. So in relation to a high protein, high fat breakfast. Hold in for me. Hold in for me. Okay. So now let's ask your body how it's going with insulin. So just in relation to insulin. And hold in nice and strong. That's beautiful. Hold in. So at the moment, even though that's not a great brekkie, it's not having a problem with your insulin, let's just ask in relation to glucagon. Hold in. Hold in. Beautiful. So in a day, where's your protein?
I probably have the best protein at dinner.
Yeah? And what sort of dinners?
Rice meals, salads, pastas, things like that.
Yeah, okay. With some meats or eggs or beans or...
Yeah, beef or pork,
Yeah.
things like that.
Yeah, okay.
Eggs, we had a lot of omelets recently. Tash just felt like making more omelets than usual.
Cool. You
So
took
it has
Soleil?
more egg. Yes, that always helps.
Excellent. Excellent. Yeah. So, yeah, so you can feel, okay, so let's just ask, just without correcting, in relation to breakfast and hold. Okay, in relation to lunch, hold. So you're a bit of a high carb lunch as well?
Lunch is just whatever's convenient, to be honest.
Yeah? So
I'm
what's
very lazy at lunch. It's
Yeah,
just
right.
whatever I happen to find.
Yeah, okay. And in relation to dinner? Yeah, right. So you're unlocking for breakfast and lunch, but you're locking for dinner. So maybe just even think, not changing so much, but just thinking, what can I add in protein-wise? Even a handful of nuts or piece of cheese or, something to help to balance it out. But you can sort of feel, you can ask in relation to lots of stuff, which is really cool. So because it's specifically about the pancreas. But because it is the pancreas, organ, spleen, meridian, the other two muscle tests, hold down, don't let me lift up, that one's fine. And now I'm going towards your head and hold. These are two spleen tests. And hold down, and hold on pulling towards your head. No, they're fine. So those are two trapezius muscles, upper and middle trapezius. No, it's not, it's lower and middle trapezius. And those two muscles relate to the spleen. Something going on in there. Just neutralise that for a second. Okay, so lat dorsi, middle trapezius, lower trapezius. Good job. So, protein. Protein is your friend. LSA as well, so if you were doing cereals, you can sort of put LSA and things like that on, or lecithin as well as a good fat for the brain, so those can sort of help to balance the carbohydrate with the fats and proteins.
Yeah.
Cool. There you go, spleen, pancreas. Check your soon.